As I said, ball or roller, I'll give you both options for both of these things today. What I want you to do to start off is just find yourself in a version of a 90-90 sit that suits you, okay? Again, if that needs to be shortened down, or if you've got a pillow that you just want to elevate that front glute with, then you can work from there. Essentially, 90-90 is just going to be 90 degrees at the front knee, ankle, and then same through the back hip, knee, ankle as well, okay? So you're just going to explore over 3 different sections of the front leg. First off, just a slow lowering over about 4 or 5 seconds with your sternum towards the knee, straight along the line of that femur, of that thigh bone, and then come back out. Okay. Then you're going to rotate the torso over the middle of the shin. Stay long with your spine and just support a lowering phase there, again over 4 or 5 seconds. And then take a breath in as you return back. And then again, another little bit of rotation from the torso to take you out towards the heel, the ankle. You can work the range that feels safe and comfortable for you. For me, this is the area that I really get stuck in. You guys might find this an easier spot. You might find, like me, this is your area with a real limited amount of movement. From here, what we're going to do is we're just going to bring in ball or roller, whatever you've got with you, and we're going to release a couple of spots. So if you've got a ball, then all we're going to do is find your glute med and piriformis, which is a little muscle. Imagine that's going to sit on the corner of where your pocket on your jeans might be. Again, the idea that I've covered up with you previously is that the ball or the roller itself doesn't really need to move. If you've got a roller, you can find exactly the same spot. It just doesn't necessarily pinpoint things as much. So with the ball or with the roller, depending on what you're working with today, all you're going to do is find this spot around glute med piriformis and just work a really easy collapse outwards with the knee, okay? So imagine you're just opening and closing a book, or the clam action if you've done some Pilates. That's where we're going to be today, first off. And you don't want to find that this is not feeling safe for your body. You want to find that this is maybe it's a 6 or a 7 out of 10 on a discomfort level. If you're experiencing real pain, then just stop entirely, and we'll reassess and work into a second option for you. So just let me know if you are finding that this is really painful as opposed to just uncomfortable. A little nudge around if you need to just explore a couple of different spots that might warrant your attention. And again, just go back to that open and close, or that drop of the knee down towards the floor. Again, we're not just moving around heaps and heaps. If you have got your roller and you're just going a little big nudge up and down or anything like this, right? You've got your single spot that you're pinpointing. Now we're just opening and closing the hip joint there. So nice start. So another just 15 or so seconds. And then you're going to find exactly the same 90-90 sit with exactly the same front leg. So just repeat what we did a couple of minutes ago. Okay. Beautiful. So take time coming out of that position with the ball or the roller. Set up that 90. And again, just take yourself through those 3 different spots. Hands can support, hands can stabilize over the front leg in whichever way you feel comfortable. Again, we're not just getting to the bottom position and hanging out here. All we're doing is we're lowering down to the end range that's comfortable for you. Through a breath out, and then returning back to your start point. And then looking at that little bit of rotation from the torso, staying along in the spine, lower down towards that mid-shin. Come back up to your start point. Again, take breath in through here, really fill that belly. And then rotate towards the ankle. Breath out as you lower down. And then return. Good stuff. Hopefully that second go felt a little bit easier. Have a little switch in again, whatever way feels comfortable for you to get into the other leg forward. And again, just this first one almost as your pilot, as your test run on where might be tight. So opposite leg is front leg, opposite leg is back leg. Again, if you need to just elevate up on this side, front leg is glute, hip, then grab a cushion or something like that. Should be nice and easy for you to have to hand. Same 3 spots, again, stabilize however you need to stabilize. If you don't feel like stabilizing, you can just lower out from there if that's an option for you. Don't force that by any means. Just over 4 or 5 seconds to take you down to your end range. Breath out. Breathe into return. And again, from there, keeping the spine long. Just that little rotation of the torso towards that mid-thigh, mid-shin. And again, that third little location from there that comes from that rotate of the upper body is just towards the heel, the ankle bone. Good. Take that little bit of time, just coming out of that 90. Bring in ball, bring in roller, whatever you've got. And the spot might be slightly different to pinpoint on this opposing side. You might find it's exactly the same spot. But the plan is here that, again, we're not just going and rolling the roller up and down through that tissue, or finding the ball and just having a real good dig around or anything like that. It'll take that little bit of time to find the spot. But once you've got it, you'll know it. And 6 or a 7 on a discomfort level is about all you need from this. If you've got a roller, then just aim to work almost like a scrubbing across the roller as your go-to with this one, as a new tactic, okay? Just causing this little bit of disruption of the tissue that's underneath the roller that you've got pinned down, okay? Again, I'm not doing any up and down rolling here with the roller. I'm just sliding, I'm just gliding from my hips over the spot here that I've definitely got a little winner in. Again, you try to maintain just a normal breath pattern with this as well. If you find that you're having to hold your breath while you do this, then that's usually an indicator that you're probably going a little bit more uncomfortable than you'd like to be. So if you find that you're changing your breath pattern to just be and just get into a spot, then just bring it back, just lighten up, take some of your weight out of the roller or on the ball. Another 20 or so seconds till we get about 90 seconds worth of release. And if you've got a ball, just swap that in maybe for a little change. See how it feels to work that lowering of the knee, that little bit of external rotation, that clam type action. Beautiful. Good job. Again, coming out of that. And just seeing what it feels like now to be in that first 90 position again. Compare this to your first go around, that little baseline setting, and see how it feels to take that lowering over 1, over 2. Again, working with your breath, making sure that it's a breath out that takes you down through here. And over 3 spots. Good job, guys. Brilliant. So from there, bringing the roller back in, what we're going to do this time is just concentrate on the hamstring. Now, the spot that's again useful to find here will depend on whether you've got a little bit of internal or external rotation. Okay. Again, we're going to work with that scrubbing type action on the roller here. Okay. Now, have a little play around, see if you get a totally different feeling by having your foot slightly externally rotated, nice and neutral, or slightly internally rotated as you create this little scrub right to left across the roller or top to bottom, whichever way you want to look at it. Again, I'm not doing any up and down in this, just rolling the tissue sense here. Okay, so none of this, nothing like that. There's a place for that, that's for sure, but in terms of what we're trying to achieve today, this is the action that we're going to go with, which is just, as I say, this swing, this sweep right to left, while your foot, hip, ankle internally or externally rotates slightly. Again, if you have got a ball, you can do something similar. Again, it just pinpoints the target a little bit more and can sometimes be a little bit harder to find, but again, it might be worthwhile if you find that you've got particularly tight hamstrings, using even like a little bolster. So again, something that'll just, a book, for example, to just bring the height of the ball up off the floor slightly is usually quite a good option if you're doing this in your own time outside of this session just now. And I'm not moving the ball whatsoever here. It's my action up in the hip. This sweep right to left that I'm creating that is actually getting the release of this hamstring tissue, this posterior chain tissue. 15 or so more seconds. Again, you're going to go back into that 90 sit when you're ready. I'm just finding my spot a little bit earlier than you guys, but again, feel free to join me now. Again, you're just going to work over those same 3 spots. The knee, mid-shin, ankle, torso, spine stays long. Create this lowering over that front knee. Over 4 or 5 seconds, we create this little turn inwards with the torso to lower. And we create this extra bit of rotation inwards to lower again. Beautiful. Nice work. And then you've got the same thing on that leg that's probably feeling a little bit left out. So whether that's roll or whether that's ball, create the position from the hip, which just determines which of the areas of that posterior chain, which of the areas of that hamstring we're really finding through here. And again, it's this sweep, this swing right to left, working across the tissue itself as opposed to working with the tissue, which is what's different about the up and down here, is that you're sort of following the pattern of the fiber in the tissue, whereas with this sweep across, this swing left to right, right to left, we're just working across fibers of the tissue as opposed to rolling up and down with it. So hopefully that's a little idea as to why this might feel different to just rolling up and down. Again, see what the different internal or external rotation up at the hip feels like. So again, this isn't just rolling your ankle one way or the other, right? This is fully rotating in or out from the hip. That in itself might just feel like it's a bit of a release for you too. My hammies are a little bit sore today. I did a longish run yesterday as well. Again, if you've got a ball instead, like I say, it might be an option to have just a hard back hook or something up under here that you're going to sit the ball onto. Just creates that extra little bit of height. And most importantly, breath. If you find that you're having to hold your breath because it's really uncomfortable, then just bring some of your weight off. You don't have to force down into a really, strong sensation. Your body wants to feel safe. If it doesn't feel safe, then this tissue will end up doing the exact opposite of what we want it to do. Last 10 or so seconds. And then all I get you to do is just find that anti-sit. Breath out to take you over the knee. 4 or 5 seconds. Rotate the torso, go mid-shin, bottom of the calf. Breath in to reset. And that rotation, take you down towards the heel. What you're going to do from there, again, take your time having a little stand up. Just have a couple of easy sit and reaches. Have a couple of easy little roll downs. And that is this morning done. Thank you.